All right, we're with Brian North in the Aston Martin Vantage GT. We're going to do 5 laps on track. You're on camera. Say hi to the people.
Welcome.
He's pumped. He's stoked. Ready to go out there and
Oh, yeah.
smash the track record. Smash. Just kidding. I'm just playing. So before we go out there and smash the track record, have all that fun, my name's Chris Tarhan. I'm here to tell you bad jokes and help you drive the car safely before we go out there and have all that fun. Want to remember what you learned in class. Vision is important. You want to look where you're trying to go. Orange cones designate the brake zones where you want to start to think about braking, and there's a green cone at the apex of every corner. Try to give a word of caution. Try not to put emphasis on the cones. I have people looking at the cones way too long. Cones are there as a guide for us to give you a reference of where you should be, but don't try to focus more on what I'm saying and less on the cones.
Yes, sir.
As you steer into the apexes, you want to remember not every corner is the same. Some corners will require different techniques, so I'll coach you on technique as we go out through the session. Coming off the apexes, you're gradually unwinding the wheel, squeezing the throttle. Keeping in mind every time you go to power, you're transferring weight towards the rear of the car, and every time you get on the brakes, that weight pitches forward onto the nose. That can up the car steer, but again, if you do anything too abrupt, you risk potentially overloading the grip of the tire, losing traction or control. So be patient, smooth, progressive. We'll build up speed. Just don't go too slow because we'll yell at you for that too. On the back side of the track, turn 7, that's where we see most of the mistakes for the new drivers here. Not a hard corner to get right, but it's very easy to overdrive, okay? So as you're going through the S's, turn 6, 7, 8, and 9, they all kind of form a kinetic chain. They all kind of flow together. So if you get to turn 6 right and you get the line right, it will help you with 7 and so on. So I'll help you with that. When you enter the brake zones, I'll coach on modulation by hitting your hand and saying squeeze the brake. If you don't brake hard enough, I'll start pushing on your hand.
Okay.
Once you get to the point where you need to turn into the corner, we need to start trailing the brake back, right? So I turn your hand into my brake pedal so I can coach you through feedback on brake modulation, because the brake is not an on-off switch and we're trying to flow speed through the corner. We're not trying to stop the car, okay? I might reach for the wheel from time to time to help you out. If I do, don't take your hands off the wheel. Stay on the wheel. Let me guide you. Once you're back on the driving line, things look good, I'll be off the wheel. If I say the words let go or release, I'm not referring to the steering wheel, I'm referring to the brake pedal. You're dragging the brake probably a little long. So your trail brake is a little long, or you're adding extra brake that you don't need. I want you off the brake so you're flowing more speed into the corner, okay?
Yes, sir.
On track, if anybody is fast and they catch us, I'll put the hazards on, I'll let them pass. If you start going quick and you catch cars, they're going to give you the same courtesy. And the last thing is the paddles. I want you to do the paddles. Right is up shift, left is down shift. Maintain 9 and 3 on the wheel. Try not to shift ahead of me. I'll give you a couple of laps, tell you what gears to be in. You'll start to fall into a rhythm. You should be good. If I say squeeze the throttle, which I do say a lot, I'm referring to the gas pedal, not the paddles. So try not to get them confused. Again, right is up shift, left is down shift, or up shift for up shift, down shift for down shift. Squeeze the throttle is always the gas. Ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All right, hold the brake. Go ahead and put it in first gear. And go ahead and roll forward. It's a little jumpy on off the brakes. You're gonna roll all the way down, then stay tight to the left. Tight against the last 2 cones. And we'll hang out right here. Stop. All right, you are clear for takeoff. Go ahead, you can go full throttle. Be ready on that paddle, I'll help you. Up shift. Keep going, stay flat. Yep. Up shift. Brake. 1, down shift. Come off the brakes and let the car roll. Just turn into the apex. Back to the left. So when you do turn 3, it's a long radius corner we were talking about. You're gonna squeeze the throttle all the way up to it. When you brake, keep the car straight for a moment. Squeeze the brake just for a moment. Then as you turn the wheel, slowly come off the brake pedal. Keep feeding the steering wheel. As you get towards the end at the apex, then you add throttle. Nice. Back to the right. Right side tires in the paint on the right. Back to the left. He's going to go to the left. You're going to go by on the right. Squeeze the throttle. Go on by. Come down to the right. Right side tires in the paint. All the way over on the red. Squeeze the brake. Squeeze the brake. Turn in. Come off the brake pedal. Straight over the paint. So you want to go straight right there. The rumble strip, you want to go around.
Got it.
Squeeze the throttle all the way down. Stay to the right. Brake, squeeze the brake, squeeze the brake, squeeze the brake. Turn in, slowly come off the brake pedal as you pick up that apex. So when you pick up the apex here, you want to be opening the wheel out to the wall and squeezing throttle as you're doing it the whole time. Full throttle, all the way down. Up shift. Nice. Up shift. Looking good. You're going to go all the way past the 2. Brake, squeeze, down shift. 1 more. Turn in, arc it in, and come off the brake pedal. Back to the left. So you want to be smooth with that wheel. You can feel that rear already shaking.
Yep.
So just as you steer in, you got to be smooth when you load the steering. Brake, squeeze the brake. As you turn in, slow hands. Come off the brake pedal again. See, your hands were a little fast. That's what I was saying. Got to slow the rate down that you turn in a little bit. This car. Come over to the right. Right side tires in the paint on the right. Back to the left. Squeeze in throttle. All the way up to the green cone. Come down to the right. Right side tires in the paint on the right. All the way over onto the red. Squeeze the brake pedal. Squeeze the brake pedal. Turn in. Come off the brakes. Straight over the paint. Go Go around, squeeze the throttle all the way down. Tight to the left, tight to the right, all the way down. Squeeze the brake, squeeze the brake. One downshift. Turn in, come off the brakes. Late apex. So here you could start cracking throttle, but you got to open the wheel as you're doing it. Keep opening, go full throttle. Full throttle. Upshift. Nice. How we doing?
Good.
Upshift. Stay to the left. Keep sending it down there. Upshift. Brake. Squeeze the brake. Downshift. Turn in. Come off the brakes. Back to the left. See? So it's just at the end you're pinching the steering. That's why it's doing that. Squeeze the throttle. Squeeze the throttle all the way down. So grab a little brake. I want you to keep turning. Keep turning. Keep turning. Just don't go fast. There you go. Keep cranking it though. Keep adding at the end. There you go. Now go to throttle. So it's just the rate that you're adding for steering angle is what was causing it to wiggle. Back over to the left, squeeze the throttle. You can downshift one time. Aim at green, squeeze the throttle. Come down to the right. All the way over on the red, squeeze the brake, touch the brake, and then arc it in. You want to go a little bit early. There you go. Straight over the paint. Nice. Squeeze the throttle. All the way down, upshift. Down to the right. And brake, squeeze the brake. Downshift. One more. Turn in, come off the brake pedal. Let the car roll. Now crack the throttle a little bit. Start opening the wheel as you're doing it. Towards the wall. Keep going. Go, go, go. Full throttle. Upshift. So you got more room on the exit there, right? So you can use that road towards the wall. Upshift. As you're unwinding the wheel, you can just start squeezing the throttle. Brake. Downshift. Turn in, come off the brakes. Open the wheel. There you go. No, you're good. Squeeze the throttle. All the way up to the orange cones. Keep accelerating, accelerate, accelerate. Squeeze the brake, squeeze the brake. As you turn in, slowly come off the brake pedal. You're good. Nice. Smooth, right? Back over to the right. Right side tires in the paint on the right. Back to the left. Squeeze the throttle. Aim at green. You're on power to green. Upshift. Come down to the right. Right side tires on the red. All the way over on the red. Brake. Squeeze the brake. Take the curb. Turn in. Arc it in. Straight over the paint. Nice. You're on throttle. Squeeze the throttle all the way down. Tight to the right. Stay up on the paint. Squeeze the brakes. Squeeze the brakes. Downshift. One more. Turn in. Come off the brake pedal. On the left. Open the wheel out to the right. Open. Add. Yes. Upshift. Nice. How we doing?
Good.
Upshift. Upshift. Send it down there. Ready. Brake. Squeeze. Downshift. One more. Start turning. Start turning. Come off the brakes. Not bad. Back to the left. Squeeze the throttle. Open that wheel. Accelerate all the way up to the orange cone. Stay out to the right. Squeeze the brake. As you turn in, slowly come off the brake pedal. Keep feeding the steering all the way down to the apex. Squeeze the throttle. Back over to the right. Right side tires on the paint on the right. Back to the left. Squeeze the throttle. You're aiming at the green cone. Upshift. Come down to the right. Right side tires on the paint on the right. Get on the red. Brake. Squeeze the brake. Take the curb on the left. Off the brakes. Back to power. Squeeze the throttle. You're tight to the left. Tight to the right. Very nice. Brian, that was 5 laps. Nice job. Not bad.
Thank you.
Slow down, you're going to go straight in between the blue cones. What'd you think?
It was good.
It's not a bad car.
It was better than the Ferrari.
Yeah, a little bit better. I like the car. It's got good power. There's cars that are a little bit lower as far as the CG goes and tidier. So getting in a car that's really hooked up and has the turning capability and also doesn't roll as much is kind of helpful. This car, though, you can learn a lot because it moves around a lot. So you have to be extra aware of vehicle dynamics and the way the car rolls. So
Be smooth.
really smooth with it, yeah. Very smooth. I'm going to go all the way down the middle of the tent and take the next parking spot. We can take right here. That's where it was, right? Very good. What'd you think? Not
It was
bad,
good.
right? Cool. So, like I tell everybody, 5 laps in any one of these cars too, and we're trying to do paddles and the braking and threshold braking, the driving line. It's a lot of work, but you didn't do bad. It was pretty good. Hopefully you enjoyed that enough to come back. You've been here before, right? You said?
This is my first day.
Is it your first time? Okay, cool.
No.
Yeah, you got to come back. I would say next time, more laps. Personal favorites, my recommendations are the Ferrari 488 and the Porsche GT3 or GT2.
Okay.
So the 488 is a completely different experience than the 430.
That's what I wanted to drive.
Completely different. Yes, totally worth it. You should definitely do that car. You'll love it. Much faster. Great front end. Turns in. Does a monster lap around here if you're on top of it. So that car, the STO, the Porsche GT3, GT2, those are really good cars. This is a good car to really learn because it'll get